wonder if I could say something like this. You know what? On June 11, 2017, I'll never forget some of the first funerals that I've done, but I'll never forget June 11, 2017 as well. And folks say, well, what was so important about that day? And I'll look at it and say, well, let me tell you what happened. At church on a Sunday morning, we talked about that Jesus is the resurrection and the life. I saw them give their life to the Lord. I saw them recommit their life to the Lord. I saw them say, you know what, I'm not going to fear death anymore, but I'm just going to follow Jesus. I'm going to love Jesus with all my heart. And it was on that day that they just gave it all to Him. Why would they do that? Because Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. And if you believe in me, even though you die, you shall live. Brother Waylon's going to come up and play for us. I've probably done well over 100 funerals. Some for the youngest, some who've lived an amazingly long life. But each one of those means that, you know what? We all die. But while we live, if we trust in Jesus, then death doesn't have to be something out there that wrings our hands, but it's something out there that we can say, welcome home, because I get to be with the Lord. So this morning, I hope you're ready to meet Him. If you do, you'll know one thing. He is the resurrection and the life, and He's worthy of all your trust. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls and hears me when I fall.
Welcome to Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We're in the heart of Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We look forward to you joining us in person sometime soon as we worship the Lord together.
In the morning, when I rise, in the morning, when I rise, in the morning, when I rise, just give me Jesus, just give me Jesus, just give me Jesus. You can have all this world, just give me Jesus. Amen. The world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, no turning back, no turning back. Chef Brother Waylon and our singers this morning, if you have your Bible, I invite you to turn to the book of John, chapter 11. You need to know this morning, and this will be the good news, bad news version of today. And here's the you can take it either way you want to take it. We are all going to die. Would you tell your neighbor that this morning? You're going to die. Would you look at him and just tell them you're going to die? But we are all going to die. Somebody asked me this past week, Brother Marcus, how many funerals have you done since you've been here? And I know at the very beginning, I would do sometimes 3 funerals a month. And so, it would be over and over and over again. And so I told him I couldn't even count how many, but there are some that I will never, ever forget. One of my first funerals about 15 years ago I did, it was a dual funeral. First one I've never had one since then, but it was there at Crane Funeral Home in Franklinton, where all of a sudden I did the funeral for a 4-month-old at the same time as I did the funeral for his pawpaw. They died about a week between, and so before they could get all the arrangements together, they had a dual service for the grandchild and for his papa there at the same time. It's something that I will never, ever forget. But the reality is, everyone dies. Every single person that lives, every single person that's upon Omaha and Hillview, they are all dead. Everyone dies. Now, I did a little research, a little study, just to kind of get my mind in the right place. But I looked at what happens to your body after you are dead. Now, I know you're thinking, you know what, well, I'm going to be put in a mausoleum, or I'm going to have one of them little silver covers over my casket or my tomb. But here is what actually happens. And I came across this video to kind of show this idea. But at the very beginning, your heart stops. And when your heart stops, there is no more oxygen because that blood can't circulate, it can't move anything. So there's no more oxygen to your cells. They begin to die. And then your body actually begins to release these enzymes. Your blood actually begins to drain because it finds the place of least resistance, so it actually drains to the lowest part. Gravity just takes a hold of that blood and just gets it to the lowest part, and it pulls together to where you have these purple patches, and that's how they can kind of determine the time of your death by the patches, the purple patches that are in there. Rigor mortis sets in. Well, you've always seen those things where all of a sudden, as stiff as can be. About 24 hours after you are dead, your body has lost all of its heat. 36 hours, there's no more rigor mortis, and at 72 hours, your body is just soft and bloating, and there's a lot of stuff going on the inside. Bacteria begins to break down those cells. And think about it, all the stuff that you had for dinner and for lunch in the past week, you know what? Your stomach was able to eat that, and those enzymes inside of there were able to eat away at those things. Well, what happens is when you die, those enzymes that were in there actually begin to eat away at you. So as a result, they begin to release all these kind of gases, and this toxic smell begins to happen. Hydrogen sulfide begins to come up, and I think that's the kind of stuff, if you've ever smelled that kind of smell, I mean, it's quite noticeable, and about 4 days afterwards, your body begins to take on this green tinge, and fluids begin to find their way out of whatever opening they can find, and so your body begins to leak itself out. Insects and maggots love those kind of things, and so they begin to kind of chew and nibble and kind of, there on your body. Aren't you glad that you came this morning? We all die, and in the end, you will be one big bloated mass of deteriorating, decomposing flesh that is being eaten. That's gassy, as much as most of you are all the time anyway. And so it just begins to happen where your insides begin to eat their way from the inside out. That's just 4 days after you die. There was a little girl who went to Vacation Bible School. A good friend of mine told me this story the other day, and I really appreciate our volunteers. We had just, one night we had about 60 volunteers. I think it was about 56 volunteers that helped Vacation Bible School happen, and so, I really appreciate that, but one of the leaders at this other Vacation Bible School began to tell this child about death, and they began to kind of explain it to him, and this little girl said, you know what, I used to be a happy child, but after I heard about death and everything else, it just kind of took away her happiness for a moment. Now, I do not want to make you unhappy this morning. You've got enough things to make you unhappy in life to just drag you down. So that is not my purpose this morning, but the reality is, we all die. We did. It happens to every one of us. Now, I know some folks are scared to think about it. Some folks try to outrun it. I'm going to stay healthy all my life. Some folks try to deny it. And some folks say, it's just too much for me to deal with, and they'll just deal with it later on. There's a lot of ways that people try to deal with death, and Jesus had to deal with death as well. And so in John chapter 11, let me give you a little background. There's a family that he loved. When Jesus would go through Bethany, it was about 2 miles outside of Jerusalem, he would stop there for a time of rest, for a time of just relaxation. Mary and Martha would take care of him. Lazarus, their brother, was there. And so Jesus often spent time with his family. So John chapter 11, we pick up the story starting in verse 17. When you find that, and honor the Lord and his word, would you stand with me this morning? As we think about in the morning, when we rise and have Jesus by our side, John chapter 11, verse 17 says these words, so when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb 4 days. And he's talking about Lazarus. We know what happens physically to your body in 4 days. Verse 18, now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Now Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him, but Mary was sitting in the house. And Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I ask that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. And Jesus said to you, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. But then Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? And she said to him, Yes, Lord. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world. Father, this morning I just pray in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, that as each of us, we don't know the day or the hour it may happen, but we all have to deal with death, from the youngest to the oldest one here, Father. We know that it may come at a moment's notice. And so, Father, this morning, may we know what it is to know the one who is eternal life, the resurrection and the life. May we do as Mary and Martha did, place all of our trust in you for that time. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Go ahead and be seated this morning. You have probably noticed, no matter how long you've lived, that it seems as though, you know what, everything dies. Relationships that were great at one moment, they suddenly just begin to fall to pieces, and they just fall apart. Your job that you thought you would be at for year after year after year, and then those things do not work out. Those things that you held on to, those possessions that you thought would be important all your life, those things just begin to deteriorate, begin to decompose, begin to just fall to pieces. Your health that you held on to, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be okay, but then things just begin to change. It all comes to an end. Everything dies. And not only everything dies, but everyone dies. Everyone dies. We don't like to think about that, but if you've ever had to experience the death of a loved one, maybe it's a parent or a brother or sister or a family member or someone close to you, those folks that you have to hold on to, your mama, your papa, your spouses, you can't hold on to them forever. It will happen to each of us where death knocks very close to our door, and then we have to deal with that over and over and over again. There's really nothing that you can do about it. Everything dies. Everyone dies. We will all die. Now, I can see a lot of your faces. You're like, well, thanks a lot, Mr. Killjoy. I mean, you know what? I used to be a happy child, but thanks to you, that's not happening. Even in our Sunday school class this morning, we're talking about, these folks in Haiti and how some had gotten trapped under the rubble of that huge earthquake they had. And so we talk about death even in Sunday school. Now you're thinking, you know what are you some kind of doom and gloom preacher? Are you just trying to scare me to death? Is that your purpose today? You're just trying to get me focused on death? Now listen, friends. In the middle of me saying that we are all going to die, there is actually still some hope. It is not something to be just scared of. It's something to be afraid of. It's something to just have your hands wringing out in fear. There is hope. You say, how can I find hope when everything dies and everyone dies around me and I have to face death myself? How can I find hope? Well, it's in John chapter 11, verse 25. I don't know if you realize what Jesus said. To you and I who go through times of death, or you and I who go through times of sorrow and heartache and funerals and burials and visitations and all that kind of stuff. For you and I who go through that, what does Jesus say? He says, listen, my dear friends, I am the resurrection and I am the life, and he who believes in me, though he may die, he shall yet live. That is such good news for us who face death day by day, the death of ourselves, the death of loved ones, the death of those that we care deeply about, to know that death is not the end, that there is more to come. If this was all that there is, you might as well eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you shall die. But that is not the reality. Jesus says, no, there is life, eternal life, life to come. He says it's not out there, it's not somewhere one day. He says, no, today in your life, I am the resurrection and the life. Just think about it. I mean, that's not just an Easter story. I mean, it's not just something that you deal with on that April or May or March time. It's not just something that, we sing one day and, Jesus is alive. No, he says, I am, in the middle of all that you go through, I am the resurrection and the life. And if you just believe, if you just trust in me, even if death comes knocking at your door, that is not the end of the story, for you shall truly live. And whoever lives and believes in me, verse 26, he shall never die. And he ends with a question right there. He says, do you believe this? Do you believe this? Do you believe this when real life happens on Monday? It is so easy to get excited on Sunday to think Jesus is the resurrection. Amen? Hallelujah. Jesus is the life. Glory to God. But on Monday, when you wake up and you go to work and bills start coming in and stresses of your family begin to hit you left and right, when things begin to happen, when real life hits, is it easy to say that? Do you still believe that He's the resurrection and the life? You see, real life hit Mary and Martha and Lazarus, and it was so unexpected. When life hits you at times, it comes in unexpected ways. I don't know if you've noticed that. About 4 days ago, I started having a little like ding, 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 ding. You ever had a tooth pain that just starts ringing its bell on you? It's like, you know what, something is going on here. Ding, 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 ding. And so, I go to one dentist, and I'm like, well, their options was, a little bit too much, so I go to another dentist and try to figure that thing out, and so all of a sudden, unexpectedly, it just happens. And so all of a sudden, I go to the dentist, and I see Barrett and Bennett, and they're just hanging out there, they're all shiny and bright and stuff, and then Ryan comes in there, and so while I'm sitting there, Becky's in the back already and stuff, so while I'm sitting there, all of a sudden the doctor's like, well, we could do this, and it'll be, like this with 4 figures, or we could do this, and it'll be like with 3 figures on the low end. And so I'm like, well, I got about 27 more of them. I don't know how many teeth are in my head right now. But, I was like, you know what? It's way in the back. Brother don't need that one. Just go take it out. In unexpected ways, all of a sudden, in unexpected ways, I've got some woman that I barely know, and she's got these clamper things that I've barely seen, and she begins to stick needles 3 inches down in the middle of my jaw, and she just begins to pull and tug. She's got her knee all ground up on her, so she's just pulling away. I'm like, I should have buried it better afterwards. It was literally like, it was really big. But what happens? There in the middle of that experience, a hole was left in my life, all because of something that happened unexpectedly, that was something that I had to deal with. And in your life, there are times when it's great to say, oh, Jesus, you're my resurrection. Oh, Jesus, you're my life. Oh, Jesus, would you pay for that bill? Oh, Jesus, would you take care of this thing? Would you take care of that thing? But when life hits you unexpectedly, what happens? All of a sudden, it leaves a hole and a void in your life. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus went through some unexpected things. Unexpected trials, unexpected timing, and unexpected tombs. Did you notice in verse 1? If you look in your Bible, John chapter 11, verse 1, it says something real interesting. It says in verse 1 that they faced an unexpected trial. Why? Because Lazarus was sick. This wasn't just a little head cold. It wasn't just something, this was something that they knew. Hey, in verse 3 it even says that they went and had people go and find Jesus because they knew that it was bad to the point that this is something serious. There was nothing they could do. Do you believe that in the middle of unexpected trials of your life, that Jesus is still the resurrection and the life? You know what I've noticed? Is I've met people who were living right, who were trying to do what the Lord wanted them to do, who were just going through life and just trying to make it day by day, and they just expected God to take care of them. They just expected God to bless them. They expected God to just be God and to show up in their life. But then an unexpected trial comes into their life that rocks the core of who they are. That begins to shake up their life. A sudden sickness that just begins to rock their core. Jesus, where are you? Is this a trial that has come unexpectedly? A sudden relationship that was flourishing, but then all of a sudden begins to fall apart. There's trials in your family and in your life and in your relationships, and it just begins to rock you at the core, and it begins to happen. You worry about your job, and you worry about this thing, you worry about your family, you worry about your future, and some unexpected trial comes, and that's where you have to realize, is He still my resurrection and my life? When life doesn't happen as you expected. And so Mary and Martha came to an unexpected trial in their life, and they had to figure out, do I still believe in the middle of my unexpected trial that He's still the resurrection and the life? You and I face unexpected trials every single day. And some of you have gone through that. You face unexpected trials, and it shook you to your core. Is He still the resurrection and life during those times? But it's not just trials, but unexpected timing. Look at what it says in verse 17. In verse 17, it says, when Jesus came, He found out that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now, we talked about what happens to your body physically in 4 days. We understand some of those processes that are going on, but this sudden sickness, this unexpected trial, began to get worse and worse and worse to where that boy actually died. Mary and Martha did everything that they could. They tried to bring healing to their brother. They tried to take care of their brother, but all of a sudden he ended up passing away. When Jesus showed up, he was already in the tomb. It was far too far, dead and gone. But you know what happened? Jesus actually could have been there earlier. In fact, in verse 6, the Bible says that he chose to stay where he was for 2 more days. He loved Mary and Martha and Lazarus. They were in a great relationship together. And yet, when he hears, look, Lazarus, my brother, is about to die, he doesn't come right then. You would expect your friend who you love to be there right at that time, to do whatever you can to get there. But Jesus just waited. He waited not just an hour, not even a day, not even 36 hours, but he waited 2 days before he even began to make that journey to where they were. And by the time he made that journey, by the time he got there, it was already 4 days that Lazarus had been in the tomb. And you can imagine their natural reaction. Verse 21 and later on in verse 32, Mary goes to Jesus, Martha goes to Jesus, and they say these words, Lord, if you had only been here, my brother would not have died. An unexpected trial, but now it's unexpected timing. If you had just been here, but you're too late. If you had just been here, where were you? If you had just been here, my brother would not have died. Can I ask you, do you still believe in the resurrection and the life of Jesus in those times that he does not show up when he is expected? See, I have a feeling that a lot of you look at your life and you would count all of the many, Lord, if you had only in your life. Lord, if you had only done this when I asked you. Lord, if you'd only rescued when I hoped that you would. Lord, if you'd only done this at this time. Lord, if you had just fixed that. Lord, if you had just solved this. Lord, if you had just been there. Instead, you waited until it's too late. And now it's all dead and gone. Lord, if you had only been there, then you could have fixed this. But how many times in the middle of life do you realize that God does not work on your time schedule? He does not work when you want him to. Oftentimes it seems like it's way too early or way too late, but it comes in unexpected times. I have met people who at times of unexpected trials, their whole faith just began to fall apart. And I have met people in times of unexpected timing when God didn't show up, that they begin to lose their faith and begin to be filled with shadows of doubt. And when they begin to say, you know what, God, if you had only been there, then they begin to just walk away from God because God didn't show up and God didn't answer and God didn't heal and God didn't move just like they wanted to. And so all of that disappointment with God, I've met people who just filled with frustration and doubt, who get tired of waiting on God, tired of wondering if he's going to answer, unexpected timing and unexpected trials and even unexpected tombs. You may have noticed in verse 33 through 35 that all of a sudden Mary says, you know what, Lord, if you'd only been here, and therefore when Jesus saw this woman weeping, verse 33 says, the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. And then the shortest verse in your Bible, John 11, verse 35, where Jesus, the Bible says that Jesus wept. It was an unexpected trial for them. It was an unexpected timing where God didn't show up when he wanted to, but it's also an unexpected tomb. And when Jesus looks at these women crying, when he sees the crowd of all that's happened, he begins to weep as well. No one but Jesus knew that this sickness would end in death. No one around them knew that there could be a miracle happen that day. No one understood what was going on. But then Jesus, in verse 38 and 39, Jesus again groaned in himself. He came to the tomb. It was a cave and a stone lay against it. And Jesus said, take away the stone. And when he said that, Mary, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he has been dead 4 days. It's too late. It is too far gone. It is beyond hope. Beyond hope. You see, some of you have faced situations in your life, and I wonder in those situations, do you still believe that Jesus is the resurrection and the life when the tomb has been sealed closed? When you begin to pray for your children who have gone so far away from the Lord, and you wonder to yourself, you know what, I'm not sure if they will ever come back, because it just seems like the tomb is closed, the door has been shut on that. You find relationships where once you were together, but then you're filled with bitterness and hatred towards one another. You can't even be in the same room together, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, it just seems like the tomb has been shut, and it's too late to make this right. It is impossible to ever get these things right. It is a tomb that has been closed forever. You deal with your mistakes and your past and your shame and your sins that are just always there. You're always reminded of them. No one wants to let you get over those things. And over again, it just seems like the tomb is shut even on those things. I've met people who over and over again, they look at hopeless situations in their lives and say, my child will never get better. I will always be this way. This is always going to happen in my life. Why? Because they look at their life and say, you know what, the door is closed. The tomb has been shut. The unexpected trial gets worse and worse. The unexpected timing where God doesn't show up in the unexpected tomb over and over again. And you might say to yourself, well, preacher, that's some depressing news. I'm going to have to face unexpected trials. That God won't show up when I want him to. There'll be unexpected timing. And then sometimes in life, the door is just shut and there's this tomb that stands right in my way. But you may have noticed when Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, verse 41, you ought to look there in your Bible. Verse 41 says, then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know that you always hear me, but because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Now when he had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he who had died came out bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. And Jesus said to him, loose him and let him go. They knew him that Jesus was the bread of life. They knew he was the light of the world. They knew that he was the door for the sheep. They knew that he was the great shepherd. Later on, they know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. They knew he could heal. They knew he could save blind people. They knew he could do all those things. But they didn't know he could raise the dead. And so all of a sudden, he just screams out, Lazarus, come forth. And this boy who had his grave clothes on, who'd been dead 4 days in that tomb, all of a sudden he begins to walk out, still having the grave clothes on him, and Jesus says, loose him and let him go. Friends, I don't know how many unexpected trials you have in your life to deal with. I don't know how many times you've been waiting on God to answer, and I don't know how many tombs have been shut in your life where it's just you are bound there, dead to the situation, dead in discouragement, dead in hopelessness, dead to where you don't know how to make one step forward. And in the middle of your life, in the middle of your child's life, in the middle of those relationships, in the middle of all the deadness of your life, Jesus cries out, Lazarus, child, believer in God, come forth and be loose and be set free. There is good news today that Jesus is the resurrection and the life. I mean, it's just good news. And that's why he said, I am the resurrection and I am the life. I've met people who've lost their faith when unexpected trials come. I've met people who just get mad and angry at God because of his unexpected timing. And I've met people who are just so filled with hopelessness because of unexpected tombs where the door is just shut. Now you may be wondering, I wonder who all those people that he's met that deal with all those things. Can I tell you, I is one of them. Because there's been times in my own life where I'm like, you know what, Lord, this trial that came up, I wish that it wouldn't have happened, Lord. Where were you in the middle of this? And it just seems like the timing, like, God, why can't you answer when I ask you to do this? And why doesn't this happen in those times? And I just think this is how I would work it out in my own life. I need it done by this time. And where it just seems like, you know what, the tomb of this is closed, the tomb of that is closed. And where is the hope? Where is the life? Where is anything that I need? We just cry out, Lord, if only. And in the middle of that, he just kind of cries out in a voice that is louder than my sin and my shame and my mistakes and my past. He cries out, Marcus, come forth. And the grave clothes of depression, the grave clothes of loneliness, the grave clothes of hopelessness, you come forth and let me loose every bound. Let me set you free. And friends, today, in the middle of your life, I pray to the Almighty God that if you feel the grave clothes have just held you down, if you feel like the darkness of the tomb is around you, that He would call out your name and just simply say, come forth. Out of everything that you're going through, would you come forth? He gives life. Four days after you die, your physical body is just a wreck. I mean, it's stanking, it's smelling, it was stiff at one time, now it's soft and mushy. There's stuff crawling on you that when you was alive, you would run away from a spider and a bug, but boy, when you dead, that things are just having a buffet like at Ryan's. I mean, they just eating away, a little liver here, a little kidney there, a little lung. I mean, they having a field day all up on your body. I mean, for 4 days and however long it takes for them to just chew and nibble and scratch here, just give a little gas there. I mean, they having a buffet on your body. That's what happens 4 days after your body dies. But what about 4 seconds after you die, spiritually speaking? Well, what happens to your body then? You see, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ because you never made a decision here on this earth to give your life to Him, then you know what happens immediately after death? The Bible says that absent from the bodies be present with the Lord, but the Bible says that we all must face the judgment of God. And there'll come a time when you will stand face to face before Him. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, the Bible says you'll be separated for all eternity from God and without hope, and there in a place that the Bible describes as hell. Horrible place that we never want to go to. But if you know Jesus, if you did as verse 27 says, that she said, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God." When she placed her faith and trust in God, she never had to fear death again. She didn't have to worry about what would happen 4 seconds, 4 days, 4 years, 400 years after her death. Why? Because she said, you know what, I placed my faith and trust in the resurrection and the life who is Jesus Christ. I have done a lot of funerals. I've done a lot of them. Done a lot for many of your family members. I've done a lot for people that I've loved and cared for a long time. Some of those I will never forget. There'll be funerals that I'll do. Friends who have already said, "Look, man, I want you to do my funeral, and let's talk about what I want it to be like." Can I ask you for a moment? Unless I die, I tell the kids, I got about a good 5 years in me, and after that, there's no telling what will happen. But in case I'm still alive before you pass away, am I going to do your funeral? If I get to that time, there's some that I'll never forget, some of the first ones. But if I stand before people and there you are in your coffin, you know what, they'll clean you up a little bit, kind of shave you, make sure your hair looks good, put you in your best clothes, whatever it is that you want to be dying in, and they suck all the fluids out of your body, take your stomach out and stuff, so that way, you're not smelling too bad when we get to that viewing time. They'll take care of you that way. They'll embalm you and fill you with some juices, formaldehyde or whatever it is. They kind of keep you in there and preserve you. So, you'll be there, and everybody will come by and say, "You look so good." Doesn't he look so good? It's like the brother's dead. I think, I bet he looked a lot better when he was like, breathing. But you know what? But there they are. They'll say stuff, and they'll hug your neck and stuff. But when we get to that time, and I just happen to do your funeral, I wonder what I'll be forced to say on that day. I wonder if I could say something like this. You know what? On June 11th, 2017, I'll never forget some of the first funerals that I've done, but I'll never forget June 11th, 2017 as well. And folks say, "Well, what was so important about that day?" And I'll look at it and say, "Well, let me tell you what happened. At church on a Sunday morning, we talked about that Jesus is the resurrection and the life. I saw them give their life to the Lord. I saw them recommit their life to the Lord. I saw them say, you know what, I'm not going to fear death anymore, but I'm just going to follow Jesus. I'm going to love Jesus with all my heart." And it was on that day that they just gave it all to Him. Why would they do that? Because Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. And if you believe in me, even though you die, you shall live." Brother Whalen's going to come up and play for us. I've probably done well over 100 funerals. Some for the youngest, some who've lived an amazingly long life. But each one of those means that, you know what? We all die. But while we live, if we trust in Jesus, then death doesn't have to be something out there that wrings our hands, but it's something out there that we can say, welcome home, because I get to be with the Lord. So this morning, I hope you're ready to meet Him. If you do, you'll know one thing. He is the resurrection and the life, and He's worthy of all your trust today. Would you bow your head for just a moment? As our heads are bowed, as our eyes are closed, are you ready for death? Say, no way, I don't want to think about it. I don't even like talking about it. I wish this sermon would hurry up and get over. But you know what the good thing is? It's that sometimes you got to face it. Sometimes you have to deal with it because it's going to happen. But I've seen it's a whole lot different when you deal with it with Jesus than those who don't have any clue or any hope without Him. So today, if you don't know the Lord, maybe today you need to just give all your life to Christ. Here in a moment, we're going to have a baptism. I'm going to ask our baptismal candidate to go ahead and walk upstairs. But as they do, they're showing a sign of that they've made a commitment to place their faith and trust in Christ. They're giving it all to Him. Would you do the same today? Would you say, Lord, I'm a sinner. You know my heart. You know where I'm at. I need a Savior. I need Jesus. I believe and trust in Him today.
Friends, thank you for joining us today at Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We hope you'll be able to join us this coming Sunday at 10:30 a.m. or 6 o'clock in the evening time. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock for our prayer service, and we also have youth and children's activities as well. We look forward to seeing you. Hope to meet you in person here in Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We hope to see you soon.